So I get asked a lot, what should our videos be trying to achieve for our organization? And that's actually a really broad question. But what I usually suggest to my clients is, what are you trying to do first of all? Is it outreach? Is it internal training? Is it like brand awareness? And there's lots of different facets that you can go into, but you need to really decide first, what are you trying to do? And if you're coming from the point of view of like, I literally need to do all these things, that's okay. There's time, but just pick one thing. Is it one of those things? So let's say, for example, it's internal training because you're recruiting some new people to help out, or you're onboarding volunteers. So let's say that's your focus. Okay, great. So note that down. And then from there, you can at least start to build out what kind of videos that you need from there. So that's what I would suggest. Just from the very, very top, just try to understand, first of all, what are you trying to do? Again, is it trying to market yourself? Is it more training? Is it more of a promo? Maybe you've got an event coming up. So try to understand that first, and then also understand that you don't need to do all of that at once. Just pick one first. Okay, now that you've picked that one thing, there's a real trap where I see a lot of my clients put so much time, effort, resources into like this one video as if it's going to be the best and absolute last video of this kind for their organization. I'm here to tell you that it's not like that. Don't feel that it has to be like the one and only type of video that you need to do, because you're always going to be iterating. You're always going to get better. And it's interesting. Sometimes I see videos that are overproduced, but don't get that much impact online versus videos that are a lot more raw. It's not perfect, but for some reason, those videos do amazingly well. And it really speaks to the authenticity that comes through. And then with your own viewing habits, you as a person, you can see whether or not something's really authentic. Someone's trying to be really authentic, or someone is being authentic. And that comes through in the video because our bullshit reader is very well attuned to that kind of stuff. Whereas, if you watch a video that's way too slick and it's a promo, and look, I think there's a time and place for those type of videos, but don't feel that the video that you make has to be super polished and the absolute best. Just seriously, just get started, and you can go as simple as just filming with whatever you've got, whether that's a phone, whether that's a friend's whiz bang camera that they'll lend you, or someone else that is willing to help out. Just whatever you've got access to, use that and get started, because it's an amazing learning process once you kind of like go through it, because it's not easy. But once you go through it and then edit the video and then watch it back, you're going to sit back and you're going to have so many learnings that, oh, okay, I think next time I need to talk about this because I forgot about A, B, and C and things like that. So just remember that whatever video that you make doesn't have to be the be all end all and the absolute top of the line, because that's going to be your last video, because it's not, and we can always do better. So that's another thing. After you do these videos, it's a really good idea to have a debrief with your team. Hey, even yourself, because one thing that I've learned with professional video productions that I've been a part of is that I like to do like a 3-step process afterwards. I like to keep it simple because I want to be able to just kind of like marinate on it afterwards and then learn from it and just apply it to the next thing that I'm going to be doing. I don't want it to be overcomplicated. Otherwise, it's not going to sink in for me, and it's not going to come through in the next actions for the next project. So the 3 things that I tend to think about is, number 1, what is a critical failure or something that really needs to be fixed? So for example, if you go to shoot your video and for whatever reason you're trying to make do with the environment that you're in, but there's construction across the road, but you have to shoot anyway. But as part of the debrief, it could be that the thing to fix is, all right, next time I need to scout where I'm going to be shooting ahead of time, because that was not a good situation. So that's like an item that you can fix. So that's the first thing I would do in your debrief, is just try to understand what's something that you need to fix. Then the second thing I like to think about is what's something that can be improved. So it's not as critical, right? So, but it could be something that helps for the next shoot. So for example, let's say that you're filming the CEO of the organization or whoever, right? And for whatever reason, that during the filming, you can hear like rustling in the clothes or like clanging, because it could be jewelry. It could be maybe the mic was placed in a certain way where it's like scratchy. So it's not the end of the world, but maybe that's something that you can improve for the next shoot. So you can kind of write that down as part of your checklist for the next shoot. And then the last thing that I would think about is what's something that worked really, really well and you want to sustain. So for example, it could be that you actually went for, like you scouted the place where you're going to be filming or shooting, and it was good that you did, because let's say that whoever that you were interviewing or anyone of the crew needed a specific type of access, like a wheelchair or a ramp or something like that. At least you did that scouting. So that's an item that you would want to sustain and make sure that you keep doing for all future shoots. So those are the three things that I would think about during your debrief session with either yourself or your team. Still do your best, but don't fall into the trap that it has to be the absolute best, where you can get stuck with indecisions and not being as authentic on camera as well. So just remember, video production for your business, it's always like a moving, evolving beast. You're definitely always going to get better after each one that you do. Just make sure you do those debrief sessions and note down your learnings, make yourself a checklist, and then that way for the next video it's always going to be a much better process. So if you got any questions, let me know. If you need to get a video done but don't have the time to do it, feel free to hit me up. My details are below, and I can be available for like a Zoom call if you need some extra help as well.